One of my favorite videos there from Simon Simek about why, starting with the why, and he makes a great point. Why do we get out of bed? Why is it that we do what we do? Yeah, that was the driving question. We should be expecting great things from our learners. That's kind of what the driving question was here. Driving questions drive project-based learning. So why does why matter? Well, you heard him say it. Why drives behavior. Now, that's important in the classroom. It's important in the classroom because obviously we want our kids to behave, yes, but that's not why we want them to behave. We want them to behave because we want them to get learning from us. Understanding the why matters because it drives behavior. Why provides for our actions, our intentions, and our behaviors. The why matters more than almost anything else. We want our kids to go out and be great and do great things. Well, why? Because our purpose is for our actions that are actionable in the classroom. Learners then can connect to the why. Our purpose of our intentions. They must understand their why and the classroom why. And I know, we've kind of gotten to the point where in society today, we have this young generation and we have the older generation of, especially in teachers and students, teachers like, they always want to know why. Well, it's because I said so, right? My kids hear that all the time from me. Why? Why, Dad? Because I said so. Well, that doesn't connect them. It doesn't connect my children to what I want them to do, and so it's not going to drive behavior. They don't know the why. So they must understand their why. Why do they come to class? Why do they come to school every morning? Do they want those same great things from themselves as we want for them? And then they have to understand our classroom why. If we can't connect our classroom why to our students' why, then we're never going to engage them. Why provides purpose for our behaviors. When they know their why, when the students know their why they're coming to the classroom, and they know our teacher classroom why, they will connect with our why. And that sounds a lot confusing, right? A lot of whys going on in there, a lot of people knowing things and whatnot. So let me say it again. When our students know their why they came to class, and they know the teacher's classroom why, they will connect that to the teacher's professional why. We want great things for our students. We want them to be marvelous people. So that's why is so important. So what is what you're saying? Okay, lots of whys going on. What does all that mean? So what? Well, that's the what. The content. It's content. If the students know the why of the what, speaking of content now, they're likely to find it more meaningful and valuable. Therefore, more likely to give attention and energy and effort to the what, the content. So again, if the students know the why of the content, if they know the why of the what, if they know why we're doing this activity, then they're likely to find it more meaningful and valuable. It's just like, the old algebra. When am I ever going to use this? I don't know. You just have to do it. We're not building connection there. And you may sit there and say, well, they're in my classroom. They should do it. That's fine. But they're going to be, you won't drive behavior that way. And there won't be meaningful learning that way. We've got to build that connection. They've got to understand, our students have to understand why they're there, why they're doing this activity. And when they find meaning and value in that, when they find that connection, they're more likely to give it attention, energy, and effort to the content. Therefore, we say we have learning at a deeper level or a profound level of learning. What am I saying here? We're talking about student engagement. When they find meaning and value in the what it is that they're doing in class, when they find meaning and value in your content, when they're excited about doing it, there's a profound level of learning there. It's a deeper learning. It's not just compliance learning. So what? So what does all this mean? Well, what's next? Well, then we design learning experiences that can take into account ways to help learners find meaning and value in their work or learning. So now that we have this understanding of why we're here, why they're here, and what we want our kids to accomplish, those great things, we've got to design learning experiences that they will find meaning and value in. We have to provide them content that's going to be meaningful to them. The drill and kill worksheet days, there's no connection there because the teacher gave me an assignment. There's no connection there. And so when there's no connection, you're going to get compliance learning, but you're not going to get a deeper level of learning. Designing experiences that take into account ways to help learners find meaning and value, we've got to find things that are relevant and authentic. We want relevant and authentic learning. So there's connection there. It's relevant to the students, and it's real learning. And so you're sitting there thinking, well, that sounds really great, Mr. Thompson, but how do we do that? Well, how do we do it in the real world? We do things. We do things. I thought about this the other day. I didn't sit down with my oldest son and tell him and explain to him and give him a worksheet on how to mow the lawn. I didn't do it. We went out there, we cranked it up, and he started pushing. And then he discovered that he had lines going all over the place and patches that he missed and whatnot. And so we went back over it again. And then by that time he was, able to, now he could start the mower on his own. So, we learned to start the mower. But we learned how to do things in the real world. That's what project-based learning is. We're connecting in project-based learning. We're connecting the why to the what to the who. We're connecting why we're here and our students are here to the content that we're providing to the students. We're making that connection. And that's what provides relevant, authentic learning. It's a package of mindsets. PBL is a package of mindsets I heard described. Package of mindsets and behaviors that promote relevant and authentic learning, which leads to PBL. So now that we understand what drives the psychology of PBL and what drives us, our why, we understand our why as teachers and educators. We need to understand the students' why, and that's part of building relationships. One of the tenets that we've talked about, for years in our school, building relationships, getting to know our students, building those connections. We do that so that we can have connections with our students in the classroom and that we get more engagement out of them. Now we want to take it the next step and do the same thing with the content. We want those students to have a relationship with us and an authentic learning relationship with the content that provides them with an authenticity that we don't see in the old drill and kill days. So as we take a break here in just a second, I'll give you a little bit of time to kind of digest all this, then we'll come back and then we'll start getting into the framework of PBL.